Hey everyone, this is the Snake383. Welcome back to Megaman Legends. Previously, we finished up the remaining 2 side quests in the game. Now all we have left to do are enter the sub-cities on the island.
Underground city must be where the clever can transfer units live.
I apologize for the abrupt cuts and out-of-sync audio in this session, because somehow the footage got corrupted, and I used another program to fix it. But anyways, welcome to the sub-cities. The only 2 new Reaver bots that you'll fight here are the large Sharakurusu Reaver bots, and a new one called the Karubun, which are the tank-like Reaver bots that you see in the background right here. Karubun Reaver bots will open their tops and fire bombs at you, and also shoot their machine guns at Megaman. They're also the Reaver bot that has the most HP in the entire game. There's no difference in between the different colors of a Karubun Reaver bot at all. Aside from large Sharakurusu and Karubun Reaver bots, every other Reaver bot that you'll find inside the sub-cities will be ones that you've faced before. There are a total of 3 sub-cities that you need to enter and destroy every Reaver bot so you can get the keys to open the central gate. Now, on the nature of the sub-cities, no one knows a whole lot of information about them. We only know that the prototype Anthro units, or the members of a previous civilization, used to live in them. But as to what they were used for, no one knows. All we know is that they were created to house the keys to the central gate of Kattelox Island. If I were to recommend a special weapon that you take with you, I recommend the blade arm, the powered buster, or the machine gun. Possibly the active buster if you took enough time to completely max it out. As you can see, I have the spread buster attached. It's not that effective against small enemies. If you were fighting Bruno, it would be very, very effective, because the spread buster doesn't have a very good range. It's better if you fire it up close to large enemies. That pyramid you see in the end of the city holds the key that we need. But before we take it, we're going to need to destroy every single Reaver bot here. As you destroy more and more Reaver bots inside the sub-cities, it can get very annoying if you're trying to look for the last one. Because you might think you destroyed them all, but no, there's this one last little Reaver bot that you forgot to destroy. That's about the only bad part about the sub-cities. The best part about the sub-cities is that you can exit them anytime if you're low on health or you need to recharge your energy canteen. As you can see, I'm low on health and trying to frantically search for the last Reaver bot I need to destroy. And just as I thought, it's a large Sharakurusu. In the downtown sub-cities, they can get very annoying to find, especially if they're the last ones.
Huh? That sounded like a door opening somewhere. I better take a look around.
Once the music stops playing, the key is yours for the taking. Just enter the pyramid, open the chest, and the key is yours.
Got it! I better get back to the surface.
I believe it was around this point where I decided I needed to grind money so I could get the Kevlar Jacket Omega, which would reduce damage by 3/4. Anyways, the next sub-city is in Uptown, right across from the television station. It's pretty close by the eastern gate, so it's not too hard to miss. The Uptown Sub City has a gigantic boss called Gaini Turen. It's a gigantic worm-like Reaverbot that will spawn Sharakurusu Reaverbots and red Zakobons. It moves around in a preset pattern, so it's pretty easy to keep up with. But every time you destroy a Sharakurusu or red Zakobon, it'll respawn another one. The Gaini Turen has only one weak spot. It's in the back. Every time it opens its hatch to spawn a new Reaverbot, that should be your cue to open fire. The Spread Buster is sort of useful here, but then again, you definitely have other weapons that are more suited for this type of situation, like the machine gun. Or if you've upgraded it already, the Shining Laser. If you have upgraded the Shining Laser, it would have punished the Gaini Turen so bad by now. It's really overpowered. The Gaini Turen also has 3 parts of it that need to be destroyed in order for it to be defeated. We just destroyed 2 and we're now on the last one. You know what the funny part about this is? We've gotten so far away from the Sharakurusu and red Zakobons that they're not even following me anymore. It's even funnier considering that I'm not even giving the Gaini Turen a chance to spawn anymore. About 2 more shots should do it in. There you go. It's done. Now all we have left to do are just destroy the remaining Reaverbots that it spawned. This can get very annoying, especially since you have to deal with the small Sharakurusu Reaverbots. By now, you should have the most powerful Buster parts in your possession. The sub-cities are pretty cool to look at. All the structures are very, very unique. It's almost like you're entering a new world. But in story, not a whole lot is known about the sub-cities. No one knows what they were for, other than for the prototype Anthro units. Anyways, the final sub-city is located in the old city, right where the abandoned factory was that housed Bruno. So in your fight with Bruno, you better hope that he destroyed some of the fencing. Because otherwise, you're going to have to enter the main gate, surface, so you can get inside the fencing to enter the sub-city. It sucks when that happens, and believe me, it's very possible to do. The Reaverbots that you'll find underneath the old city are Arukoitons, the Orodukoitons, and Karabun Reaverbots. This makes it quite possibly the easiest sub-city in the entire game. The hardest, of course, being the downtown sub-city. This is also a place where the jump springs will come in handy, because when you're searching for the stationary Arukoitons, you'll want to jump on top of the roofs of every building in here, so you can find them. You probably won't even need to use a special weapon inside the third sub-city, because you'll most likely have the best Buster parts in the game. Plus, there's something to be said about the satisfaction of having those best parts, especially when you're destroying all the weak Reaverbots inside here. Unless I get the Spread Buster earlier to fight Bruno with, I'm never using it again in the sub-cities. Next time I'll just use my machine gun or something. It's much easier to find the remaining Caraboon Reaverbots than it is the Arakoiton Reaverbots. After I destroy this next Caraboon, it takes me about a minute or two to find the remaining Arakoiton Reaverbot. But it helps a lot that I have the jet skates enabled. Otherwise, this would take probably 4 or 5 minutes for me to find. But where I end up finding the Arakoiton is in an alley between 2 buildings here. Now, while this may be hand-holding that most older gamers despise nowadays, I think it'd be really helpful if you could somehow develop a radar that would let you detect where the remaining enemies are. Especially if you're in a big place like the sub-cities. And with that, we've destroyed the final Reaverbot in the sub-city. If you've been paying attention to the names of the keys for the main gate, they all have something to do with sight. Sleeping, dreaming, and this next one, watching.
There! This should be the last key. Now all I have to do is open the central gate.
You now have 2 options. Open the central gate, or go grind for some money so you can power up the active buster or shining laser. The first spot would be the sub-city underneath downtown. The enemies are tough, it takes a long time, but in the long run, it's totally worth the 20,000 zenny you'll find. Be sure you have the vacuum cleaner arm before you go, because you'll want to suck up all that hard-earned money. If you want a quicker but harder path of grinding, choose the Lake June sub-gate. Make sure that you have the best buster parts equipped, because the enemies here are very tough. But regardless of which grinding path that you choose, make sure that you know your limits. Stay tuned for the finale of Mega Man Legends, where we open the central gate and solve the mystery of the Reaverbots under Kattelox Island. I'll see you guys then!